What's up? We are back with another college basketball video here. This is going to be our first video probably for the rest of the week. We're probably going to be making videos nonstop going forward for the rest of the week. Obviously, Selection Sunday is tomorrow. So, there's just a lot going on for college basketball. It's the best time of year, second best time of year for sports, in my opinion. And it's just getting started. We got games on Tuesday. So, we are going to talk about the conference championships today. What's all happening with that? CU's going to win tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest. Tomorrow's games don't really have much of an impact though. The Big Ten and the SEC
Big Ten,
games, at least.
SEC, yeah, not really, but they're. I mean, I wouldn't have predicted either of those games to be happening the way that they are.
Yeah. So we are going to discuss let's discuss the most hottest thing first, and let's discuss the MAC. Now,
Yeah, man.
obviously, there's a lot of speculation with one team, and that's the Miami, Ohio Redhawks, who lost to who did they lose to again?
UMass
They lost to
in the
UMass.
first round.
Absolutely embarrassing, and at the moment they're probably going to get in, but they are.
I saw their last 4 in as of right now.
They are sweating it out for Selection Sunday,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to lie,
They should be.
This team's just not really good. I'm going to be honest. They deserve to be in the tournament. They definitely deserve it over Auburn, 1,000%. But this team, in my opinion at least, is really bad. Like, they've been barely getting by the MAC. I got to pull up the MAC, see what teams are in it here. How do I do that?
I'm not aware of who's actually in that championship game, or if that already happened.
Yeah, I have no idea who's in the MAC. Probably already happened. I have no idea.
I'll look real quick.
But regardless, Miami, Ohio was everyone's favorite going into the MAC, as they should be. They obviously lost by quite a bit in the first round. Well, they just got beat in the first round. Let's just say that. So they're screwed, in my opinion, because they're gonna have to face probably a Tennessee type of team in the first round, which,
yikes,
they're gonna get beat by like 30 to Tennessee. So yeah, I'll let you talk here.
Yeah, so right now, actually, the MAC championship is happening right now. It's going down to the wire on ESPN2. Toledo and Akron are tied with 2 minutes left, so that's interesting. Yeah, but I mean, I really haven't been high on Miami, Ohio all season. I respect the fact that they went undefeated in the regular season. I do think they should get in, but I was not. I thought they were going to win their conference, obviously, because they were winning. They've beaten everyone practically.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you lose in the first round to a team with a losing record. Pretty embarrassing. They lost. I know they didn't get shellacked, but they let up 50 points in the paint, and that was over half of UMass's points.
Yeah.
And that just can't be happening. They just didn't. They showed who they are, and it's like they love playing close games, but in close games, you're never guaranteed anything. And they were kind of just bound to lose at some point. I mean,
definitely.
They barely beat who was it like a week ago? Somebody really bad, Ohio. So they were just asking for it at that point.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they should be left out. They need to be in the tournament because only one loss is really impressive. But I really don't expect them to do anything. I'm expecting a first round exit no matter who they play.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care if they get in the tournament. I don't really care if they don't. But I mean, they should get in. But that's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the Mountain West, because this one is interesting because you got San Diego State, you got New Mexico State, and you got Utah State, who is the champion of the Mountain West. They're probably going to be like a 7 or 6 seed, in my opinion. Utah State's a pretty good basketball team. I'm not going to lie. Really underrated. Their conference is really tough, the Mountain West. And these two teams, as in San Diego State and New Mexico State, are pretty much on the hot seat. They both don't have great odds to make the tournament right now.
Yeah.
And not a lot's gone their way over the last few hours. And I mean, I don't know. I could see one of these teams sneaking in for the last team in, but I don't know. It really comes down to how the committee views SMU, in my opinion. SMU is just a garbage team, but
yeah,
really interesting, especially considering, I mean, that potentially only one team from the Mountain West could make it. I mean, usually 2 or 3 make it every year. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I think as San Diego State is actually projected one of the last teams out as of a week or two ago. And obviously they made the conference championship, which is an obviously impressive feat. They were in the game. They lost by 11. They kind of just got outplayed in the second half.
Yeah.
But they're a good team. So I definitely think that they could definitely have a spot come selection time tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get all the mid majors out of the way because I don't know, these have been really underwhelming to me, except for the Belmont upset. That was insane,
I will say this really
like forever ago. So
yeah, that was like a week and a half ago. I will say this though, the amount of mid major 1 seeds that have been losing is insane to me.
Yeah.
Like they're all just losing in the quarters and semifinals, which I find is fascinating. I mean, I wonder how that's gonna impact the Cinderella teams.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have the not as good teams beating the good teams for the mid majors. Like the Belmont not making it. Now you have Northern Iowa making it in.
Yeah.
And you just don't know what to expect. While you look at Belmont, they could have potentially made a run. So the mid majors are going to definitely be an interesting group of teams to look at tomorrow with the bracket.
Yeah. And so that brings us to the last relevant mid majors games for conference tournament, in my opinion. It is the Dayton versus St. Louis game that happened today. That was an insane game.
What an ending, man.
Obviously, St. Louis lost in dramatic fashion. Yep. And St. Louis, I don't know why they're so high in the poll, man. They're just very overrated. Undersized. Just have a bunch of just not that athletic people on their team. And they're okay in KenPom, but I mean, you can't be losing to Dayton and be a top 25 team in the AP poll. I'm sorry. So Dayton, I mean, this could be the first time they make the tournament since COVID, I think. I don't know if they've made one before.
I feel like they made, I can't remember.
So Dayton is my favorite to win it at the moment. They play tomorrow. I don't know who they play, probably VCU. But Dayton, very good team. We could definitely see 3 teams making it from the Atlantic 10. And let me pull up St. Louis's KenPom here. Let's see where they're at. So they're 39th in KenPom, and
VCU versus Dayton tomorrow.
That does not deserve a 8 seed, in my opinion, or a 9 seed, which is what St. Louis is projected. Like, that's just not very good at all if you're St. Louis. So St. Louis, while they're going to be an 8 or 9 seed, one of the highest mid majors, obviously outside of Gonzaga and UConn, I mean, they're going to be a first round exit. Like I can almost promise you that. So Dayton, though, ladies and gentlemen, they are a really good team. Look out for them.
They're good. They're good. Completely agree.
Yeah. You got anything else?
No, I just feel like that St. Louis has been getting all the hype. They don't have the height, though, which is partially why they lost, because they allowed that guy to tip the ball back in. But I definitely think it'll be interesting, since they lost already, where they're going to fall tomorrow, because they were projected at 11. But that was when they were projected to win the conference. So if you lose in the semifinals, that could be it'll be interesting to see where they fall for sure.
Yeah. So if I'm being honest, I think St. Louis will be a 10. We'll drop down to a 10, and Dayton will also probably be a 10. But that's just my opinion. So that brings us to the relevant conference tournament games, and we are going to start with the Big East. Now, the Big East, was really weird is really weird, honestly. You had Georgetown making a run. Obviously, they lost to UConn. You had Seton Hall making a little bit of a run. They're probably not going to make the tournament. I don't think they will. And it came down to St. John's and UConn, and who
Who could
even
have seen
won?
that one coming?
Yeah,
Just St. John's won by 20.
yeah. So I mean, it proves that UConn is one of the most fraud teams in the country. Like, this
Yeah.
team is not a good offensive team, and if they give up points on the defensive end, they're losing every single game. So Terrace Reed's good. I mean, Solo Ball is good, but this team just lacks a lot of talent compared to previous years when they had Stephon Castle and Donovan Clingan. So this is definitely one of the weakest UConn teams I've seen in the past 5 years, and there are going to be a lot of people's upset in the first round. So I have no doubt
Yeah.
about that they're probably going to lose early on in the tournament. So
Yeah. Yeah,
what do you
I
have to say?
mean, I was watching some of that game. St. John's was just in control the whole time.
Yeah,
St. John set the tone early. UConn played a little soft. Um, St. John's did take their gas off the pedal for a little bit. Early on in that second half, they were up by about 9 or something at halftime. But they definitely cut it a little bit too close. They let them get too close to them, but they did a really good job pulling away there at the end. St. John's is a really interesting team because to me, I can see this team making the Elite Eight, potentially Final Four, but at the same time, I could also see them losing in the round of 32. So um, they're an interesting team to look at here. They did a really good job, though. I will say this: my number one takeaway from this game is St. John's did a really, really good job of creating turnovers and scoring off them. They had 15 points
yeah,
coming in the first half just off of turnovers. So they did a
yeah,
really good job out of that. But real quick, breaking news: Akron just won the MAC, so they are locked in to
yeah.
go to March Madness.
Akron's going to be a
They're a
very
good
good
team.
team. I
They're
mean,
17-1 in the MAC. That's pretty good.
that I don't know who they play.
They probably lost to Miami.
seeding's going to be very weird. I could see them being a 14. I could see them being a 12. Like, it really depends who they play. And
Yeah.
these five seeds are definitely up for grabs. These 5, 6, and 7 seeds. So moving on to the Power 3, I guess. And at the moment, we got the 3 best conferences here in college basketball. We're gonna start with the ACC. Now, not a lot shocks me in the ACC. I'm gonna be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you had
Agreed.
Stanford pulling off a couple upsets. I mean, Stanford is on the bubble right now. I don't think they'll get in, but very interesting that Stanford was able to win a couple games. I mean, I was most shocked by Florida State, though. Florida State, I mean, was a bubble team
Yeah,
for a
playing
bit.
that really
They fell
close
out of the
game there with
bubble.
Duke.
They had this one guy, this one left-handed player go for 25 points. Very good player. And I don't know, man. I just think that it shows that Duke might not be the best team in college basketball. Like, their defense is what's how do I say this? Their defense is what everybody hyped them up about. But when I watched that game against Florida State, their defense is not the number one defense in the country. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. And they don't have Caleb Foster anymore. They don't have a backup big man center, which has been a revolving door all year long. So Duke is definitely very fraudulent this year. I don't know where they'll be at, so or how far they'll get. So
Yeah, I
obviously, they
mean,
got the job done, but it was pretty embarrassing. I'm just gonna say that.
yeah,
Florida
I
State.
really thought Florida State was about to win that game there.
I did too.
On that last shot, I thought that last shot was going in. But I mean, they're
Yeah,
playing a close. Duke's playing a close game with Virginia right now. Virginia is playing really good basketball. Um, but yeah, I think again, we've been saying this. Virginia is a really good team, and they're a team that not a lot of people are talking about. And I feel like people are just seeing them now on national TV on a Saturday night go head to head with Duke right now, and they're playing them really well.
yeah,
Um, I mean, it's Duke's up by 2 with 12 minutes left, so um, really good ACC ball. I will say this though, my only shocker here was Clemson beating North Carolina. I really thought North Carolina was going to win the game. I know that they played really close about a week or two before, a week or two ago. But I was surprised to see North Carolina lost that fast because I felt like they were trying to get another rematch with Duke going, but they were probably just thinking about playing Duke and not worried about playing Clemson. So I'm interested to see where North Carolina will fall after losing in the quarterfinals after not playing. So
Yeah, obviously NC State continues to disappoint the world. They
yeah,
lost very early in the tournament, and I don't know why. I don't know why I gave them so much hype. So that's all I got on the ACC.
yep,
Not really a lot of bubble teams. Well, there's a few, but they're not going to make it, in my opinion. Mostly, it's in the SEC at the moment. So I think we should talk
yeah.
about the SEC next. So
Let's talk about the SEC,
this is
man.
this is the conference that
This was
has
a
had the most that has
fascinating tournament.
happened, the most that has happened so
Yeah,
far, and obviously you have Vanderbilt versus Arkansas tomorrow,
Yeah,
which
that's gonna be a really good game.
I mean I was high on Vanderbilt all season long. I'm still high on Vanderbilt, and I mean that take looks pretty good. So Vanderbilt obviously gave belt to Tennessee. They gave who did they beat earlier? They obviously beat Florida, and Florida is a different topic. I don't know what's the
I
thing
don't know
about
about
Florida.
Florida, man. I don't know.
Like I said, they don't have any guards, so that's that. Anyways, this Vanderbilt team is probably going to be a 4 seed, and they're going to be like the hottest team in college basketball. So, I mean, in my opinion, at least, like they beat Tennessee twice, they
In
beat
like a
Florida,
week.
they beat Florida,
Yeah.
and if they beat Arkansas, that would cap it off for me. Like that would seal the deal. I mean, I would consider Vanderbilt as a top tier team if they were to beat Arkansas tomorrow. But on the other hand, Arkansas has came on a really weird path. They obviously barely beat Old Miss, which I mean, I don't know
Ole
where
Miss
we've
was
been.
playing really good, bro. I
I
have
don't
no
know,
idea where they came from.
but like I don't know, like why couldn't we see that like during the season, like
Yeah,
compared to last year? Like
it's
they made
March,
the
man.
Elite Eight last year or something like that. So
Yeah.
Arkansas obviously is very good. I don't know who's going to win tomorrow. It's probably not going to matter that much. Probably a
Yeah, I
top
don't
three
think it will.
seed, 3 or 4 seed, but really weird. I do want to say Oklahoma though. Oklahoma had a
Yeah.
couple of very nice wins. Let me pull up the SEC bracket, SEC tournament bracket, SEC tournament bracket. Let's see. Let's see here. Oklahoma played South Carolina. They beat South Carolina and they beat Texas A&M. So and they played Arkansas by
Yeah.
3 points. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Oklahoma's the first team out, but they are a better team than SMU. I'm just gonna say it. SMU's terrible. So Oklahoma deserves a spot as the last team in the tournament, in my opinion, barring any bid stealers, which I don't think there's going to be a bid stealer that I know of. But
Mhm.
anyways, Oklahoma might have just performed a miracle. So if Oklahoma gets in, it'll be weird. They obviously won't play an SEC team in the first or second round, so I don't know who they match up against in the first round if they get in.
Yeah.
Obviously, all these SEC teams seem to be 5 or 6 seeds. A lot of them 4. I mean, I have no idea who they play in the first. Probably North Carolina. I'd say they play North Carolina in the first round if I'm a betting man. But yeah, Ole Miss, heck of a season or heck of a tournament. Not a heck of a season. They had a horrible season, but I mean, I don't know where this like. I guess it's better late than never, but should have been coming a lot longer before. So I think Ole Miss. I mean, I mean, should have just lost early. Honestly, there was no point in trying if I'm being real. So that's all I
Yeah.
got.
Yeah,
You got anything?
yeah. So I'll talk about Vanderbilt here. I was kind of trashing Vanderbilt about a week or two ago. Um, about I said this. I'm pretty sure I said this word for word. I I will gain respect for Vanderbilt when they can beat good teams and beat them consistently. They beat a good team in Tennessee twice in 1 week, and then they shellacked Florida, who we've been
Yeah.
glazing for the last 3 weeks. So Vanderbilt has definitely gained my respect. Like you said, they're one of the hottest teams in the country right now. Playing great. Would not be
Yeah.
surprised at all if they win the whole thing tomorrow. And then that puts them in a great spot playing on Thursday or Friday. So,
And they'll still be a low seed too. They'll be like a
yeah, and they'll
fourth
still
seed.
be a lower seed. So they control their destiny right now. So,
Yeah.
they did really good starting hot against Florida today. And they didn't look back. Florida would look shook the entire time. Which do we want to talk about Florida? Because that raised some questions for me about the Gators today.
I mean, I think
Do we
everything
still
about Florida
think?
I already know. Like, they have good big men. They're a great rebounding team, but they are not a team that can come back by 20 points or 10 to 20 points. They don't have good guards.
Yeah,
Like, this team is built to be ahead the whole game. They're built to win with fundamentals of basketball. And if they're down in games, I don't think they can really have the firepower to come back with their guards. So,
yeah.
I mean,
So going
that's all
going
I
off
got.
that, yeah. So since they just got shellacked, what do we still think they're a 1 seed?
Florida
Yeah, because UConn lost, so they're not going to get a 1 seed.
depends
Do
on
you look at
who won the Big 12. Who won the Big 12?
Arizona beat Houston by 3 or by 5? It was a good
I,
game.
they're still a one
They'll
seed
still
because
probably be a one
Houston's
seed.
been way too
Yeah.
inconsistent.
If
Iowa
Houston would have
State
won, possibly.
Iowa State obviously got bounced.
Iowa State
Um,
played good though. They played a great game against Arizona.
UConn is definitely not a one seed. They're horrible.
Yeah.
Um, and then that just leaves the Big Ten teams, and one of
Yeah.
those teams is definitely not going to get a one seed.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to get a 2, either Illinois or Michigan State. I don't think Purdue's going to get a 2. A lot of people
No,
think.
definitely not. They'll probably get a
People
3.
are hyping them up, but which we'll talk about in a little bit. But
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
get
like
to
Purdue.
them.
But
We'll
a
get to
couple
them.
things here. Obviously, 2 teams on the bubble: Auburn. Yeah, Auburn
Yikes.
and Texas.
Dude,
Texas.
I will like we said last week,
Yeah.
we will riot if if Auburn makes the tournament
I
over
agree.
Miami, Ohio.
I agree.
Especially
Texas is the second to last team
Texas,
in the
man.
tournament.
Texas disappointed me this week. They disappointed me fully.
Yeah, Texas. I just think Texas is
Their
done for the
defense
year.
is so beans.
Defense is beans.
Their defense is
Coldest
so
team in
bad.
college basketball. Texas is not very appealing to pick right now in a bracket. I'm picking them to lose. I mean, whoever they play in the first 4, and if they get to that game, they're losing by like 30 to North Carolina or Louisville or Miami or whoever ACC or SEC team they play. Can't play an SEC team, obviously, but
Yeah.
last team I want to talk about is Missouri. I mean, I'm not going to talk about Georgia and Kentucky because they did fine. They didn't do good. They didn't do bad. They did fine. But Missouri obviously was the hottest team in college basketball. They ended up losing to Kentucky. And that raises the question if they deserve a spot in the tournament. I definitely think they do. Their resume has been very good. They've beaten Vanderbilt. Did they beat Tennessee? I think they beat Tennessee. Did Missouri beat Tennessee?
Yes.
They did beat
I believe
Tennessee.
they did.
So I really love Missouri's resume. They obviously deserve a spot in the tournament. Like they're gonna run the brackets as an 11 seed. They're gonna be probably the most deadly 11 seed in the whole thing, in my opinion. Like I don't really care about VCU. I don't really care about Texas. Like Missouri's by far the best 11 seed that's going to go on a run, in my opinion. If there's a team that goes on a run as an 11 seed, so Big Ten time.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Last conference. Oh, I mean, unless you want to talk about anything else, any mid majors or whatever.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
We'll talk about the bubble for a bit. We'll look at Joe Lunardi's bracket. So
we'll also tomorrow are we gonna do you still have your, like, dinner thing so we can't do lives?
Yeah, I
Okay,
do.
so tomorrow night we'll probably react to the brackets, and we'll predict the first 4. Or do we
Yeah.
just react and then predict first 4 on Monday?
No, we're gonna have our hands full predicting every
Oh, yeah,
game,
you're right,
so
you're right.
we're gonna have to probably do a region a day. So that's
'Kay.
my guess at least, maybe 2 a day, so depending on how it
Probably
goes,
2,
but
probably 2.
so that brings us to the Big Ten, and this tournament didn't disappoint me, I'm not gonna lie. Had a lot of
Yeah.
interesting stuff. Obviously, Rutgers made it a long ways, or Rutgers did decent. Northwestern almost pulled off the impossible. Who'd they almost beat? Was it Iowa?
Uh, they they,
Or they
uh
had a good run. Northwestern had a good run. I do
Northwestern
know that.
they kinda got belt by, Purdue, but
Oh,
they
that's
beat,
right. That's right.
somebody. But
Anyways,
Ohio State had a really good run, Wisconsin had a really good run. That
and
the top part of the
the
bracket
last
was
team,
really good.
UCLA, the Bruins,
Yeah,
man.
UCLA was almost there.
UCLA was by far the most impressive team of the Big Ten. They've
You
definitely were on the bubble, and they've
they're
exceeded
in,
my
they should be in.
expectations.
They should be in.
I don't have a doubt in my mind that UCLA is going to win a tournament game this year. They're going to be really good, and they're hot at the right moment. So
Yeah.
Donovan Dent continues to impress me. I mean, it was just insane what they were able to do in the tournament. So obviously, Nebraska got built by Purdue.
Okay, bro. Do
Nebraska is
it.
going to be like
Yeah,
a 4 or 5
freaking yeah.
seed.
I I I've seen everywhere we're gonna drop to a 4, more than
Yeah,
likely,
yeah,
because
and
all the other 4s were losing, so
and I don't know about Nebraska, man. I'm not very high on them at the moment. Purdue, I'm not very high on because they're so volatile. I get that their defense or their offense has been clicking in this tournament, but their defense has
their defense has
almost
not been
lost
on
them
it.
a couple games.
Yeah,
And
their offense in that UCLA game, their offense would just explode, and they would be up by like 10 or 11 for 5-minute
yeah,
stints,
yeah,
and then the offense would stop for a second because they can't always be going, and the defense just was not doing anything. And that's why UCLA only lost by 7, was because they were able to take advantage of the bad defense and keep going at them.
yeah. And I mean, obviously the championship games tomorrow between Michigan and Purdue, but I mean, I think Michigan has easily proven
I
that
think
they're the best team in
Michigan
this conference.
yeah.
They have probably reaffirmed that number 1 overall seed, in my opinion. I mean, I think they deserve it.
Especially if Duke doesn't win this game because 'cause they're down by 2 right now.
And my biggest concern with Michigan was, can Elliot Cadeau carry the team that's had an injured backcourt as of lately, and he's been fine at doing that with a weak backcourt. So Elliot Cadeau, shout out to you. He's been doing good. Yaxel's been balling like Michigan.
Yeah, buzzer game winner today.
Yeah, Michigan's legit. That's all I got to say on that.
Really good.
Let's pull up. Let me pull up these actually each Big Ten game.
I will say this though.
10.
The You said UCLA was the team that most impressed, yeah, you.
Yeah,
I completely agree, but the team that impressed me the most was Wisconsin. Um, they they played so well, um, especially against Illinois. They were down 11, um, against that really, really tough offense, and they shut them down in overtime. That was a really, really impressive win. They lost by 3 to Michigan today, but they were tied at the half. And we've been saying that you need to have really good guards, um, to do well in March. And man, oh man, Wisconsin has some really, really good guards. They are so good. I think they each dropped 30 yesterday, against
mm,
Illinois. And this Wisconsin team has some crazy potential to me. Um, just didn't go the right way today.
yeah. Obviously, there's a couple teams that we will see where they end up on the right side or not of the bubble. Indiana's the one that comes to mind. Indiana while
No, they lost first round,
they
bro.
obviously lost to Northwestern.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
They're still technically on the bubble. I mean, that's all I got to say on that. Iowa's another team that kind of is on the bubble. They obviously beat Maryland, but Maryland's horrible at basketball this year, at least. And
yeah, tough loss to Ohio State.
Tough loss to Ohio State
played well too.
I mean,
they played
I don't
Michigan
know about
good.
Iowa. Iowa can be.
Bennett Sturts played so bad.
Yeah, Iowa can be anywhere from an 8 seed to an 11 or a 10 seed. So Iowa is a team that it's really going to fluctuate seed to seed in the next couple hours, and we will see where they end up. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
You got any other brackets you want to discuss?
No. I just feel like, well, I will say the Ivy League is always interesting to look at because for some reason there's always an upset or two there. Penn beat Harvard, which Harvard was really good this year. So there's that.
Yeah.
We didn't even go to Big 12.
We didn't. Oh, that's right. We didn't go to Big 12.
Big 12.
All right. We forgot Big 12. Big 12
that was an interesting tournament, man.
Was interesting, but in my opinion, the Big 12 didn't really have any upsets, in my opinion. Let me look.
It was all kind of expected for the most part. This doesn't really count as an upset because they were a 5 and the 4, but Iowa State just kicking the crap out of Texas Tech shows to me Texas Tech is kind of screwed.
Yeah.
We had them 2 seeds like 2 weeks ago. I expect them to drop pretty far from that. I just don't think they're the same team anymore. And a lot of people are going to see their high seed next to their name, and they're going to pick them a lot. So I would say maybe don't pick Texas Tech to do very well in your brackets, especially after the way that they played against an Iowa State team who had been playing terrible basketball the past 2 weeks prior. So
yeah, the one thing I do want to add is that the UCF and Cincinnati game that obviously went to overtime.
Yeah,
I think now officially Cincinnati's done. UCF is firmly in the tournament. No questions asked about that. And I mean, nothing really shocks me in this tournament. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's all great teams, and it all kind of fell how I envisioned it to fall. So, I mean, BYU beating West Virginia by 20 was interesting, I guess, but I definitely thought like Baylor or Arizona State were going to make a run for it. I thought those two teams were pretty underrated teams, and I don't know. It just didn't work out. So this was probably the most boring tournament in my opinion, as far as upsets wise. So hopefully we don't get that in March, similar to that tournament. So
yeah, I mean, Arizona continues to just blow me away, man. They're playing really good. But to me right now, it's them Duke, or it's them Michigan and Duke right now for me. For my top 3 title contenders right now, because you see the other teams are slipping up. Duke is playing a close tournament game. Like, I don't know what else. Like, everybody wants Duke to just shellac every team so that they can be the best. But you got to consistently win the games. And it's not like they're playing like Miami, Ohio and winning every game by 2 points. No, they're winning games by 5. They're winning games by 25, or they'll win a game by 1.
Yeah.
These teams are winning consistently against the best teams in the country. And sure, yeah, it's March, man. We got to expect all these games to be close. Every team's fighting for everything. And those are the 3 teams that have just been able to consistently do it all season. They're battle tested for it. So I feel like, to me, those are the top 3 teams in the country. Obviously, they're ranked 1, 2, 3. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, if Purdue somehow shocks the world and beats Michigan, if Virginia somehow beats Duke within the next 5 minutes, That would be interesting, but to me, these are the 3 best teams in the country, and, yeah, I mean, I don't really
Hmm.
see any other team taking the cake there.
Yeah. All right. So I just want to briefly discuss the bubble.
Yeah.
Obviously, the last
Here,
four buys.
let me get that pulled up here. Which bubble are you looking at? Are you looking at ESPN or CBS?
Yeah, I'm just looking at ESPN's.
Okay. I'll pull this up here. Okay.
Yeah. So obviously, with the bubble right now, obviously Texas A&M, NC State, Santa Clara, and UCF are the last four buys.
Yeah.
I mean,
NC
I
State,
don't,
man.
I don't like any of these teams. I'm gonna be honest. Well,
I don't like
UCF's
NC
okay.
State. I don't like NC State or A&M.
UCF's okay.
Yeah.
And so
Santa
those
Clara did
teams,
good enough. They made it to their conference championship. They beat St. Mary's. So they're good for me too, especially
yeah,
since we were kind of high on St. Mary's. I think Santa Clara deserves being in here.
yeah. So that brings us to our last four in, which is Missouri, Miami, Ohio, and the two teams that everybody's gonna be wondering that will be in, and two teams that have a chance of being in, have a chance of don't getting it or not getting in. All from the SEC except for SMU. It's SMU, Texas, Oklahoma, and Auburn. And I think SMU, obviously because they beat Louisville, because they were such a high seed in their conference, I think they will probably get in.
No, they were 11 seed.
Were they really?
Yeah, they
Well,
were the 11.
since they beat Louisville, I think they beat North Carolina, they'll probably
They've
get
got
in.
good wins. They've got good wins.
They got good wins. Grant, they're terrible. So
Yeah.
obviously they play, or obviously they'll probably be in, and so that brings us to three SEC teams: Texas, Oklahoma, and Auburn. And hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull up each of these three teams and see.
Stanford's in the next four out. Cincy's
Yeah.
next four out. They're out of here. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I stand with these three teams. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Auburn should get the nod. So
No.
Auburn has barely has a winning record. So
Yeah, they
that
should
brings
not
me
be even
to A and
close.
M or Oklahoma and Texas. Let me pull up the top, or let me try and find these
Well,
teams here.
Oklahoma has the head to head.
Oklahoma does have the head to head, but Texas has a better compound. Texas has by far the best offense. Oklahoma doesn't have a great compound. They're 40th. They're three spots. So Texas 37, Auburn 38, Oklahoma 41, all in compound. They're all pretty much back to back to back. And Texas obviously was embarrassing this tournament. Oklahoma was the most surprising. I mean, I think this spot definitely deserves to be Oklahoma's. Obviously, have the head to head. Don't have the only thing that Texas has is Kempom, and they just have the flashy offense. So that's Oklahoma's a better team than Texas. I firmly believe it. I mean, it's crazy how one of these two teams is going to play Missouri in the first four. So more than
Yeah,
likely. So
it's crazy.
Missouri versus one of those two teams is going to
Especially
be
since Oklahoma
amazing.
just beat Missouri, did they not? Like
Yeah, they
2 weeks
did.
ago? Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think to me, that's just a 50-50 toss up. Texas obviously has some really, really good wins. Oklahoma performed better in the conference tournament. Um, Obviously, the head to head. So to me, that's just a toss up, man. I'm not mad if one misses it, if one misses versus the other.
yeah,
Um, but hopefully the committee just doesn't put Auburn in because that'll be the
yeah.
only time that I'm mad.
I mean, perfect scenario. I would like to see either San Diego State or New Mexico in over SMU and
Yeah.
have one of those three SEC teams in, but I don't think they will value that. I mean, they obviously value the more popular teams in college basketball, Obviously, they valued North Carolina because they were a popular team last year, and somehow, some way, they got into the tournament. So, honestly, these last four is kind of a popularity contest. I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty much, yeah. You're not wrong.
It's just always stupid. They never seem to get it fully correct. They just seem to get it to be the most entertaining matchup, not the ones that actually deserve the most. So
yeah,
that's all I got.
That's all I got too, man.
Yeah,
it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, obviously tomorrow is the big day.
The big selection Sunday.
A lot of stuff's probably gonna shock me come the bracket tomorrow. Obviously, we're gonna be filling out brackets as soon as that gets out.
Oh yeah.
So I already got like 2 pools that I'm already gonna be in.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So a lot of stuff to be discussed overnight. Especially the middle seeds, like the 4, 5, and 6s for these volatile teams. That is the teams that are gonna make or break your bracket this year. And yeah, I could see these 4, 6 seeds being like 10 to 15 different teams in these 4, 6 seeds. So that's what I'm most intrigued about is obviously the middle seeds in the tournament. So
yeah, and we still got a few more games left tonight.
Still got a few more games, yeah.
A couple more tickets to be punched. For these mid majors. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So that is gonna wrap up our short little video today. We're gonna get a longer one, I'd imagine, out tomorrow, reacting to the bracket. There's gonna be stuff to react to, obviously. So
yeah,
it starts tomorrow. Let's just say that. So obviously, the next 3 weeks from here on out is strictly gonna be college basketball on our channel, and it's strictly gonna be college basketball across America. So nobody cares about NBA. Nobody cares about. I mean WBC, I guess, but other than WBC, nobody cares about any other sport except for college basketball. So I do kind of want to talk about the Dominican Republic versus USA, so I might have to make a video on that tomorrow, but not right now. That's good. That's gonna be awesome.
That's what tomorrow at like 7 or 8 tomorrow night.
Yeah. So I'm rooting for team. Obviously, I'm rooting for Team
USA. Got to root for
Vlad
Team
Guerrero,
USA.
Screw Gabriel Perdomo. Screw Fernando Tatis. I don't
Juan
know who's
Soto.
pitching. I don't care who's pitch. I don't know who's pitching on the mound for the U.S. But
Skeens is pitching tomorrow.
Skeens is pitching. I
think they're sending Skeens out there.
All right,
as they should.
If Aaron Judge can actually not play like he does in the World Series, which is play pathetic in the World Series and strike out, and if he can actually lead the team and be the leader, then I think we'll win. But I mean, if Aaron Judge continues to play bad like what he's been doing in the WBC, we're gonna get our butts kicked. So
yeah, we might get mercy ruled, bro.
Yeah,
those guys are so good over there.
Yeah, we have the pitching though. They don't. They don't have any good pitchers.
It's true.
Like, who's their best pitcher on their team? Ranger Suarez.
Probably.
Is he for the Dominican?
I have no idea.
Is Johan Duran their closer? Might be.
I know they're putting their ace out there tomorrow. That's all I know.
Yeah. Anyways, that's gonna be the biggest.
That's probably the biggest game of the year for American sports, other than the hockey game or whatever soccer game they play.
Hockey. Nobody watches hockey anymore. Let's be real. That's sports.
People are only watching hockey just to beat Canada
and USA. Yeah, but that'll wrap up today's video. We're gonna have the World Baseball Classic tomorrow briefly, and then we will talk about the games tomorrow. So watch Virginia versus Duke. Watch
2 minutes is coming down to the wire here.
Watch Purdue and Michigan. Watch whatever other games.
Vandy, Arkansas.
Yeah. So we will see you guys for our reactions for tomorrow's brackets. Peace out.